Hey, how's it going? So the infield I'm gonna be showing you guys was done over the course of 2 to 3 hours. It was me gaming on the strip with an ex-bootcamp client who became a good friend of mine, and he was helping me out with this. So as I said, this is gonna start being an infield channel. I'll be posting a lot of infield here. I'll be probably posting once a month, I'm gonna guess, along with a lot of other content, because I need to start getting myself out there. My infield is going to be getting better over the course of the next 2 months. And you guys are gonna see a lot of this. Now I'm gonna attribute it to this, sticking points and field reports. So I know at any given point how I'm messing up or how I'm doing well. And this is something you guys need to start figuring out yourselves. And you do this through field reports and thinking critically. Now, along with this too, I actually have a list, a board of things of all the sticking points I'm gonna work through. I fell off on, or maybe there are things that I need to fix about my personality. Maybe there are things that I do in every interaction that messes it up. And then I created an action plan to actually start working on each piece individually. Which one is the most important for me to knock out first? In order, which ones are the most important to the least important? Now, I'm gonna work at the ones at the very top first. Why? Because if these ones are fixed, a lot of times it's gonna make for the biggest improvement in my own game, and the other ones below that oftentimes will become obsolete. Then what am I gonna do next? Find new sticking points, find new ways of pushing my game, find new ways of pushing myself. And this is something I want you guys to do. Now, the infield I'm bringing you was on the Las Vegas Strip. It was me approaching girls. I broke it down for my pen and paper project, which now I'm renaming Next Gen Seduction, because as the group's been evolving and growing, it's evolved completely into pickup. So if you guys want to join it, that's what the group's going to be about. I'm going to be uploading infield there every month. A lot of the infield I won't be confident enough to show on the channel because it's not always the most politically correct stuff. But if that's something you guys really want, you guys want to see my infield, I'll be posting it to the Next Gen Seduction Group. If you guys want more infield from me, join the Next Gen Seduction Group. That's where I'll be posting it, doing live breakdowns. So this video is me breaking it down for the Next Gen Seduction Group. I opened it up, I edited up the audio, I brought a bunch of people in, I'm answering their questions. Before I get into it though, the Halloween group bootcamp filled up really fast, and I have one spot left. So if anybody wants to join the Halloween group bootcamp, hit me up at dentondating.com, and that's the last I'll say of it. With that being said, let's get into it.
This is the course of the day. So this is all day game. All right, let's start with the first one. So this is the very first set I did. We were in the mall. We actually walked over here to a fashion show. We were walking through, and I saw this cute girl. I actually saw 2 sets of cute girls. And I was looking at both of them, and I was trying to make a snap judgment which one I wanted to approach. And I knew that I had to choose one or the other because I needed to get the ball rolling. So the first thing is when you go out, you need to get the ball rolling. So that the first set is always the most important because you got to take the action to create the character, create the ego. And that's kind of what I did here. I forced myself into a set. She was an attractive girl. She was pretty. She had, so the name of this audio is actually Funny Hat because she had one of those liberal, like those Pharrell hats on. You know what I'm talking about? The ones with the circles and stuff. So
Trump 2020. Go on.
Well, I instantaneously was kind of thinking this girl's going to be a little bit, this is not the kind of girl that I can joke with as much as I could another girl because I figured she'd be kind of uptight. So I'm going to play that.
Wait, here, one sec. Hi, yes. My bad, man. You're cute. I just want to go talk to somebody.
Can you guys hear it, by the way?
It's okay.
Yeah?
It's like
Okay.
it's a little staticky.
Yeah. Well, it's underneath my shirt. I'm still trying to
okay,
get the audio side of it. So it's underneath my shirt. I have a tank top underneath my shirt and it's over the top. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I might end up upgrading mics here pretty soon. Just 'cause
Get a flower. Just put it on your t-shirt and be like, oh, it's just a flower, and then.
Well, so I'm gonna be shooting these every weekend for now on. So, and I'm gonna be posting these. What I was thinking about doing was maybe doing one infield breakdown at the end of every month for everybody, and maybe just like shooting every weekend. And then once the end of the week, at the end of the month comes, show what I got, and maybe I could do like almost like an RC hot seat type of thing, if that's what you guys would like.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
Okay, dope. All right. In that case,
that'd be pretty dope. Dude, I can hear it pretty well. Like I can understand everything you're saying on the infield.
Okay, dope. All right. So when I approached her, I started walking backwards, just to give you guys context. So when I walk backwards, it looks really cocky, and it's more for like the really attractive girls. And then what I do is I walk backwards, I give her a cocky smile, and I stare her directly in the eyes. And usually I'll use pauses like I did there. So attention getter, hey, pause, eye contact, then premise. So what's the premise? What's going on here? Am I a salesman? What am I doing? In the beginning, I always go direct when I'm warming up because I'm not in the zone yet to really go indirect direct because I'm not. It's mainly when that cocky vibe comes up and I feel really just deep in the zone where I'll just be like, hey, and I'll go in like that. I should, the next audios and the next infields that I shoot, I'm going to do a lot more of that just to show you guys what I'm talking about. But if I'm not in the zone and I'm still warming up like I am in this set, what I'll do is that I'll go in direct just because I don't want there being I don't want to go indirect and then have the premise misconstrued or confuse the girl. So I just make it go direct for the first set until I get in the zone.
Yeah.
Is this set this set right here, is this on the street or is this like in a bar or club?
It's in the fashion show mall.
Oh, okay.
This is like, so we did one set here, we did one set outside, and then we did one set up the way, and then we did one set at the Cosmo Hotel. So we were kind of just approaching as we went along. And then once we got to the Cosmo, my mic ended up dying. And I was freaking out because the last set was actually really good. And it was finally to the point to where, so this is the first day where I started finally feeling more comfortable with the mic on me. And I started to feel more relaxed. Because when I had the mic on before, I hadn't been, so when I first started coaching with clients, it took me a little bit to get used to being able to approach and be really witty and to be relaxed approaching with a client, because then you have all the pressure and then you have all the money and whatnot. But there still was some kind of mental block with me in the infield. So I've been shooting every weekend trying to get this going. And this is the first day where I finally felt relaxed with audio. And the last set was pretty decent. It was good. I'm still going to I would say it's middle ground for me. And I would like to get a lot better. And by hopefully the end of next month, I'll have some incredible infield. So that's the idea.
Nice, man. That sounds pretty dope.
All right, well, here, let's keep going with this.
I feel it. Do you work here or something?
No, I'm just waiting for my friend.
Yeah. Oh, what? Oh. I was about to jump on the fact you're about to jump on a date or something, but
So she was by herself, and when a girl's walking by herself in a mall, it's very rare. There's no, like, a girl doesn't walk by herself usually. She's usually walking with friends, she's walking with a guy, or she's going to a date, or she works there. You're never going to see a girl just walking around the mall by herself, mainly especially when she's attractive. She's going to be wanting to go with a friend. It's not going to be by herself. So I figured that she was going on a date because she was dressed pretty nice. And I figured her friend would have met her outside of the mall, or they would have driven together. That just makes a lot more sense to me. But she's saying that she's going to go meet up with a friend.
you're doing something different. Are you local? Fuck, man. I was kind of crossing my fingers there. If I end up liking you or something like that, it'd be kind of nice to hear.
So there's that premise that I always put underneath all my sets. I could have done more. What I should have done is more push, to be honest. I should have pushed her a little harder. But basically what I said there was, if I end up liking you. So the idea is that I don't like you necessarily yet. It's that I care about personalities. Just the fact that you're attractive doesn't mean I already like you. So that's kind of like the premise I'm trying to put underneath, but I should have pushed it a little bit harder, to be honest.
Dude, you're totally chill, man. Do you have an Instagram?
And I blocked it out there for the Instagram and all for personal information.
Is this Instagram?
Yeah, it's Instagram. It's a Samsung though, so it might be a little different.
Ew, you have a Samsung?
I know. Pretty much all my friends fucking hate this thing. It's I can't do Zoom calls. I can't see if somebody saw my text yet. Which actually I kind of like to an extent. I like that people.
Sorry.
Yeah. You're chill, dude.
And then that was actually me blocking out for my personal shit.
Okay, here. I'll let you be. I actually totally did.
Yeah, you just ditched your friend.
Well, he told me you meet me at the coffee shop, so that's probably where I'm gonna go right now.
Yeah.
If I run into you again, though, I'm definitely talking to you, though.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's good to meet you too.
So I was trying to skip the logistics so that I could figure out what was going on. So I was asking her what she was up to, where her friends were. She was going to go meet her with her friend. she was only here till the next morning, so I couldn't do anything with her that night unless I wanted to continue to hang out with her somehow and then befriend her friend on the way there. But it was a lot of work. And when I'm just getting into the zone, I'm warming up, I do really fast, quick sets because I'm trying to pump myself in the zone. And when you're feeling out of it and you're not congruent with the personality you're trying to present, what ends up happening is you're going to get you have really good short, quick sets, but when you push the longer sets, what ends up happening is that your frame's got to look incongruent. And I know this, so usually in the beginning I push quick and fast. Then once I get in the zone, then I'll be pushing for longer and longer. That's kind of like the idea that I come behind. It's just how I game. Do you guys have any questions about that?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So if you know it's like a quick set, you just go straight for like Instagram or like the number. Yeah.
So the reason I got the Instagram over the number this time was because she was going to be traveling out, and I will use so I have a private Instagram that I use for building value with the girls, and I'll usually put them into like private groups or like, so you can use the close friends app part of the Instagram to put all the new girls into a funnel. And what I'll do is I'll take all the best posts that I posted in the past and I'll start posting them up. So what I'll have is I actually have a bunch of tested posts and stories that I know that girls react to really well that I'll put up there. And all the new girls will see all my new posts and it'll pump up my value. And then over the course of time, when they come back, or if whenever they end up coming back to Vegas, they'll think about me and they'll usually hit me up. So I have a lot of residual. I have pretty much the pickup pension plan where girls, because I do this all the time and I'm playing for the future. So I had 7 dates this weekend that I was trying to do this infield. I actually had to cut off. I flaked 4 of them because I was shooting the infield. But a lot of the reason that I had 7 dates was because I do just this, where I'll set them up in this way. So I play a lot into the future.
Oh, okay. Because I've noticed that like you went straight for like the close without having to like build any like rapport. You know what I'm saying? Like without having like some kind of like a conversation kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I shot it really fast just because I was still warming up.
Yeah.
The next one is a lot more of a conversation. I'm actually going to cut to the very last one on this.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a long audio, and it actually ended up getting it cut off. And I actually brought my bootcamp client / wing into this. So I do cut it out a couple times because he didn't want his information being out there, which, you know, is understandable. Obviously, I would never do that. So there are going to be a couple parts where it's going to be like quiet, but that's why.
Okay, you're cute. So we're actually even talking about this. Okay, does life have intrinsic value?
Oh, and I cut that out because it was offensive, and I know how political culture is. We were talking about killing babies and making jokes about killing babies. So I cut that out really fast.
That's what's up.
I don't know if she's going to say that.
So, all right, just to give you guys context, this is 3 different girls. So they're all from North Carolina. They were sitting down across from us while me and my client were talking about political stuff. So they were sitting over here, and I saw one of the girls was very attractive, and she was sitting on the inside of this booth. So I stood up and I walked over and I looked her in the eyes, said she was cute. And then I switched into the premise of asking the question about the political answer. We're talking about abortion and whatnot. So we were joking about it for a little bit, and then we switched in, and she just said, "You have really long eyelashes." She was saying that to the client, and he was sitting off to the side. So he came in, sit in the side to listen to me talk, and we ended up pulling him into this really fast. But she basically was trying to flirt with him.
You're like the second person to say that to him today. I know, dude. He's a good-looking dude. All right, it's honestly an asshole, right? I can't hang around his ass anymore. I gotta find some like ugly friends or something. I gotta like push this motherfucker off to the edge.
I don't think that's accurate. I think you're okay.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
At least average, right? Can you at least give me that?
No, I would say you're good looking for a white dude.
Oh, what's your type? Do you like black guys?
I did. But my whole family's black, so it don't count.
Wait, Indian guys?
What?
Indian guys?
So my client is Indian. So I was pointing off to him, like trying to make it fake. What's the word? I was like this. Do you like Indian guys? So I went like this, pointing off at him where he can very clearly see that I'm doing that. So basically, I'm pulling him into the set right now.
I thought you said gay guys.
No,
Like,
no.
how did I know about it?
I don't know. I've
No,
heard.
I used to only date black guys, but my current is white. And he's the
Oh.
first white guy I've ever been with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't get attracted to white dudes until I got older.
How did this actually happen? Like, how
I
did you meet
have
him?
no fucking clue.
So what? Like, drunkenly stumbled into his room one day and like
No,
he thought it was
dead
enough.
ass sober.
Yeah. Do you have a really good tan on him or
Didn't
something?
drink nothing, like,
You had a lot of melanin, and you're like, oh my god. You know what? Like maybe it's like half and half. You
no,
know.
I
So
always thought he was attractive. He's more, well, I think he's
So in Vegas, you have to befriend the friends really heavily. I'll have it at times where I'll befriend the friends to such an extent that they'll start pushing the girl onto me. Because Vegas is such a scary place because of all the TV shows that have been out about it. Girls are very suspicious, especially friends. The cock blocks are really high. So you have to really befriend the friends in Vegas, and I'm really good at doing that. I'll befriend the friends to the point to where they start pushing the girl onto me, start hanging out with me. I've had that happen quite a few times. It's the one thing I'm really good at. Do you guys have any questions about this so far?
Yeah, I got a question. So when she said you look pretty good for a white guy,
Mhm.
was that just her like playfully teasing you, or was that her also like trying to bait you to qualify?
No. She ends up pushing it even further. She ends up having a crush on me, even though I'm hitting on her girlfriend. She's honestly trying to fish out to see if she can get at me. So she was being legit. So what happened was that she's like, oh, I don't like white guys. But then all of a sudden I'm pretty confident I'm cool and I'm out there. So now she's going to be like, whoa, he's the exception to the rule. I don't like white guys, but I like this white guy. So remember how I talked about the exception to the rule? I don't like short guys. I don't like this. I don't like fat guys. I don't like Indians. I don't like this. Then all of a sudden the cool version of the guy she says she doesn't like comes along, and now all of a sudden she'll flip and like him. Because I'm cool and fun, and because I'm the center of the attention, I'm leading the group, I'm like going like this. So you guys can't see this, but they're all sitting in front of me. I haven't sat down yet. I'm standing over them. So what I'm doing is I'm giving them each eye contact and switching between them as they're talking. And and I'm being very attentive. I'm being very present. I'm making a lot of jokes. I'm laughing. I'm having fun. I'm being authentic. And so what ends up happening is the girl sees this, and now she's like, oh, alpha. Now she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't usually like white guys, but I like this white guy. So that's what's happening.
Okay. So is she just telling you that, like joking around with you?
She's fishing. She's just fishing. She's trying to get a compliment herself, which obviously I'm not gonna give it to her.
Okay.
She a little bit maybe.
and not compared to you, but
She does have a good base on her.
she has awesome.
Oh,
tan.
she's pointing at her.
She don't.
She said base. She's pointing at her girlfriend. The girl in the middle has a really good tan. So she points at her friend and she's saying he's not as tan as you. So we're getting in a conversation about her girlfriend's tan now.
She don't count.
You need to be like us, like pale people, okay? Like just as a heads up, okay? Like maybe you need to go hang out over here.
Yeah, y'all are like the same fucking color almost. But yeah, so that's what.
It's really close,
It's really
honestly.
That makes
Well,
me happy.
this motherfucker's born like this, man. Like he's like,
I had to work. I had to work hard.
really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. The one cool thing.
If you guys really want to pull people in, especially in a group scenario, you start whispering. So that's what I do right here. So I lower my tone and I switch it up. If you guys are always talking the same tone, it'll make it less engaging. So on occasion, what I'll do is I'll start whispering. And what this does is it draws people in and makes it sound like it's a secret. And so the second you start whispering, it pulls everybody in. So that's what I'm doing here. All right, now does anybody have any questions here? Okay. All right, I'm gonna continue then.
Like what is the only
Oh, and if you guys want to ask a question and you want to interrupt me, just leave a comment. It'll pop up, and then I'll stop it. Okay?
We have a question.
Yeah. What's good?
So you said the befriending the friend. How do you go about doing that?
Befriending the friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two different ways that you treat the friends versus the girl you're talking to. So this is the thing. So as I'm doing this conversation, I keep looking at the girl and giving her seductive looks the entire time I'm doing this. So you want to look to her friends, like the quintessential guy that is good with a girl, like that they think would be good with the girl. So what does a girl think is what does a girl think logically she wants? Logically, she thinks that she wants the intelligent, smart, friendly guy that's really outgoing. But really, you know, she wants the badass. She wants the wild stallion type. So if I were to go in and talk to a dad or like a dad-daughter set, I'd be really cool with the dad. But when I was talking to the daughter, I'd be, you know, up and downing her. I'd be acting like the bad boy. That's kind of what you want to do with the set like this. So when you talk to the friends, you can actually build rapport with them. That's actually okay with the friends to an extent. Don't overdo it because you'll look bitchy. But assume friendship. So when you talk to somebody, you assume they're already your friend when you talk to them. So when I go out in game, I assume everybody in the environment is my best friend and on my side until proven otherwise. So when I go and talk to a girl, I automatically assume her friends are already my friends. Like I automatically assume it. Now by assuming this, it ends up becoming a reality because I'll act in a way that makes them want to be friendly with me. I figured this out one day when I was doing sales. I approached this guy and I thought he was an old friend of mine. So I was really excited to see him. And so this guy got really excited to see me. And then I realized it wasn't my friend, it was some stranger. But every time this guy came in, this guy was super excited to see me from that point on. It's a friend battle. When I come in and I say, you're already my friend, and I assume it, they become your friend. You also talk about things that they like. So I'm going along the same lines. You'll even hear it. I'll start changing my dialect a little bit to start talking like her. And I'll do fit into her frame because people like people that they're like. So I'll switch it up and I'll start talking a little differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, dope. All right. And again, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment and I'll stop the audio and then we'll start talking about it.
Thing about being white, I'd say, is the simple fact that if I'm not in the sun, I can look like paper, and nobody fucking
Or a
likes.
lobster.
Yeah, you look a lot less in shape and shit when you're pale.
Right.
You know,
I
like
agree.
work on that shit.
I agree with you.
It's fucking,
I get it.
it's vomit inducing. Like I just want to
Do you know how it feels?
Oh, and I use really different language on purpose. So everything I do is constantly trying to avoid the box of the last loser that talked to her. So when you talk to somebody, your brain wants to put you into a stereotype. So every time you talk to somebody, so if you ever got rejected off the bat by a girl, sometimes what ends up happening, the reason that you got rejected so harshly off the bat without you even doing anything was because she got approached by a ton of losers before you, and she's assuming you're the next loser. So if you ever gone out to a nightclub and you approach a girl and the first girl gives you a bad reaction, what happens with the next one and the next one and the next one? They start treating you worse and worse. It's because you're anticipating a negative reaction. You anticipate because the one girl gave you a reaction, the next girl's the same, the next girl's the same, the next girl's the same. It's because our brains aren't built to handle high volumes of people. As we talked about before, your brain's made to handle upwards to 150 people because the connections between are just it's too much. So your brain is just going to try to create like an overall character. So maybe you have like a dozen people in your life that are the same person. In your brain, those dozen people are the same person. And so your brain does this and categorizes people and puts them in folders. So I try to act like I'm not in a folder. I try to act so that because if you're unique, if you're different, your value. If you're something, and it also allows the girl to connect with you more. If you're not like any other dude she's ever talked to, you're a lot more rare. So I talk in a way that makes me sound different. So me saying vomit inducing, that's something that no other guy's ever said. I say things like that all the time. Yeah, it's vomit inducing. I use very also emotional words in all the stuff I say. So if you guys are listening through the video, the audio, notice how emotional the words I'm using are. Like they have really like powerful connotation to them.
To be the only white person in a black family.
Not that one.
That's what I'm saying. I go to fucking family reunions and I stick out like a fucking sore thumb because I'm the whitest bitch there, like everybody else.
Okay, all right. You hit me up next time this happens. I'll outpale you, and your group would be like, "You're not so bad."
Right.
You see, what you need is a pale ass motherfucker. Bring him with you to all these family gatherings.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't have that, so I'm always.
Well, now you're dating a white guy, right?
Well, yeah.
How pale is he? Was I right?
No, I think he's probably darker than I am, honestly. Here, not here, but
Okay.
here. The farmer's tan. Yeah, he's
So-
got the farmer's tan going on.
So I'm nocturnal, honestly. So like my ass is never getting a tan.
That's me too. I only come out at night.
I've been trying to get by the
Odd
pool.
for me.
Yeah. In North Carolina,
Yes.
is there anything going on at night or like?
Nothing.
So how are you
I'm
nocturnal?
just up by myself.
Just by yourself?
But that's when I get off work.
Oh no, you're
Like,
an overthinker.
1 in the morning, so I'm awake till 6 in the morning. And then I sleep until like 2.
Here, 1 sec. I'm sitting down. I'm standing up too much.
Sorry, do you guys have questions?
Nah, not really. It sounds good.
Yeah, I just posted a question in the chat.
Did you? Okay, here, let me pop it up. Well, here, actually, what was the question?
Oh, it was like throughout the interaction, were you doing any like touching or Kino or anything?
So at this point, so I ended up sitting down. I believe I sat down right here pretty soon. I thought that I said that I thought I told them, I thought I said something when I sat down, but basically what I'm doing is there's like a little table in the middle. I'm sitting on the table, and what I did was I rested my leg like this, like I put my leg like this, and the girl that I'm actually hitting on is sitting right here, and the other 2 girls are here and here. So basically I'm like this with my leg right next to her while like I'm talking to the other girls. So it's very assumptive body language. That's how I'm kind of keynoting it. And every so often what I'm doing is during this conversation is I'm looking at the girl and giving her a kind of like an up and down kind of and a cocky smile along with it in between talking to her friends.
All right. So what you're saying is that you're just like an overthinker is what I'm getting at, right?
So when you're in a conversation like this, I don't want the intent getting mixed up. I want to constantly remind her. So there's a certain extent, I always do a fine balance of letting the girl know that I like her, but at the same time make her wonder. So what I'll do is that I'm constantly, I'm going to sprinkle it in here and there that I like the girl and that I think she's cute, either by looks, by actions, by just telling her straight up. So, but you want to sprinkle it in. I want her to wonder if I like her because it's a form of push-pull in the girl's head. So when I'm talking to a girl, if we're constantly on her, she wouldn't have to wonder, and I lose value instantaneously just because I'm easy. She already knows she can get me. She knows that sex is there on the table. So I try to sprinkle in as much. It's kind of a fine balancing act between the two, because if the girl knows that she has me, I'm less valuable. I'm not as attractive. I'm easy, and I'm not picky. So I have to balance it out, and I have to make it kind of working like this. Now she's going to go back and forth in her head, be like, does he like me? Does he not like me? Does he like me? Does he not like me? So I'm constantly kind of just making it to where she's doing push-pull in her head in a way, just making her wonder. That's essentially what's going on right here.
Yeah, I do the same fucking thing now.
I'm a way overthinker, but I don't advertise it usually, but you just kind of hit me.
Well, that's the problem I have.
You like your friends. You should
Get over here.
Hey,
He's
I'll
more-
be anti-social.
No, he's more introverted than me, but he's confident kind of guy.
That's how I feel. I'm like the one that's talking to everybody while these 2 bitches are fucking quiet.
So
And I talk the whole time to everybody.
see, I'm loud and confident. He's quiet and confident. So he's just, he's always like kind of, he's in the wings.
Confidence, mine is just.
You got a good personality. Like you're just you're clever. I got you. See?
You do too. Give me some skin, bro. I don't know if it's touch everything, but I just shit.
I'm not overly worried about it. Statistically speaking, I'm not like thinking that
Same.
I'm gonna have the corona from piss pounding you.
Same.
Yeah.
And if I do, I'm probably not gonna die. So
I do have a fetish of licking doorknobs though, so maybe eventually like
that one missed me. I got that confidence.
I just said that I have a fetish for licking doorknobs because we're joking about coronavirus because one of them fist pounded me or something like that while we're talking. And when we did that, I made a joke about licking doorknobs. And yeah.
I heard of this guy that was mentally handicapped, and he had a thing about licking doorknobs.
Oh shit! There's a guy actually in our state that was going around like in Walmart, and he was licking like items in Walmart, and he got arrested for it.
So he was trying to make a
They tried
statement.
to charge him with like terrorism, but they tried to charge him. I don't know what happened after that. I just know he got arrested in Walmart because he was going around like licking everything.
Well, they've been getting on some people's like as of late.
It's insanity.
I don't know. Like the freedom of speech, I think should like always prevail. But again, that's very politically charged, and we're gonna avoid that right now because I don't know how everybody feels about this shit. But that's how it is. Like I'm very open to other people's ideas. Like we're literally talking about him and me are still.
So me and the guy we're talking about some him and me actually agree on almost everything except for the abortion topic, but we still are friends. So I'm just making a point of this just in case I say some stupid shit later, so that if they get mad at me for a political belief, I can overcome it later. So I actually started doing this with Australian girls first. So Australian girls, I found classically are very politically charged. I had times where I'd be taking a girl home that was Australian, and all of a sudden she'd find out something like, I don't like voting. I really don't like voting. And my reasoning is that I don't study voting. And I know from the shit that I've studied really hard, how difficult it is to get really masterful in a certain arena. And I didn't do that in politics. So for my own personal feelings, I don't want to vote because I don't understand politics like I feel I should to vote. I'm not gonna vote when I don't understand it that well and I haven't studied the parts. So this girl starts screaming at me, and from there, every time I'd hang out with some Australian girl, anytime I mentioned politics, they would get really uptight. So I just stopped doing it. And I remember I started coaching clients whenever we come to Australians, don't bring it up. And it helps out a lot to preemptively. So a lot of things I'll do is, I think I did a couple times here where I preemptively say things to prevent the girl later down the road from it fucking things up. So this is actually something that Todd will do. You have to kind of understand the branches of the conversation. And I know that if I accidentally start talking about politics, I want the girl to be open-minded and to not, blow me out if I accidentally start talking about something. So I'm saying this now. I'll say things such as, so this was a classic one, is talking about the girl being adventurous up front. Because now that she says she's adventurous, now she has to, because she took the action of saying she's adventurous, now she has to actually follow it with her ego and her character. So people are constantly creating, so right now what I'm doing is I'm molding their character in front of me by making them agree to what I'm saying now. And now they're agreeing to this. Now they have to agree that they're going to be open-minded if I say some stupid shit. Like, so I say things that are sometimes offensive because it hits on an emotional level. And I don't want to ever be restricted by what people are saying. I hate that. And it'll put me in my head and I won't act a certain way. So Julian, back in the day, when he gets on a boot camp, he'll start berating the student. And I didn't understand this at first, but the reason he's berating the student is because he wants to prove to his unconscious mind that I'm allowed to do what I want. So he'll be really nice to you leading up to the boot camp, but sometimes he'll just start like fucking with you so that he can do what he needs to do to get in the zone so he can be a good coach. So in the same way, that's kind of, I'll do the same thing where I'll just be a little offensive so that I know that I'm allowed to, so that I'll have that side of me open. So sometimes if I'm a little bit bitchy, when I first start going out, let's say I'm a little bit too nice, the next set I'll do will be a little bit rude. Like I'll come in rude. And the reason being is because I want to break my ego back that direction because I can sense that it's pushing too far into the nice guy. So I'll push it that way by being rude in the next set. And then once I'm rude, now I have that side of my personality open. So now I'm going to be evened out, if that makes any sense. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
Okay, dope. All right, I'm going to get on with this then.
We're friends, and we're not going to hate each other because we had a conversation and we disagreed. Kind of like you. I'm like, I'm like, I'll say it to your face for now.
Like, really will get me to not talk to somebody is if they're like a straight up racist. Like, if you're obviously I can't be like.
Well,
because my brothers and sisters are black, like over there, I can't even not have their back.
Wait, what? Oh, I did that. No, I actually did that here. Well, I have a business, so I have to like take pictures and shit. Like, I actually don't like it, but like, all right, this is gonna be really bad, but here.
Like fancy.
Yeah, well.
We've not even been back to our room to even get fancy. Yeah.
Where you guys staying?
Oh, just to explain this to you guys. So there's these guys over here. They're taking photos of themselves and doing they're doing like this whole photo shoot thing. It's these two guys and they're getting really into it. So the girls were looking off and watching them take photos. So I was explaining to them a lot of people do that for business.
The
Venetian?
And I'm getting logistics, so I know how far I have to pull them. So here's the logistics you guys always want to get. Where are you from? Who are you here with? What are you guys doing tomorrow? So if you guys know that, oftentimes it'll be a lot easier to pull. So who are you here with? Are you here with your male friends? Are you here with your girlfriends? Are you here with your mom, dad? Where are you staying? So you know how far to pull, or if you want to pull back to your place, what are you doing tomorrow? So you know how much time you have allotted. So if she has work early in the morning, you know you have to close it a little bit faster. It's going to be a little more difficult. But if she has nothing going on tomorrow, then in that case, you'll have a lot more time to close. So you always want to ask those three things.
Oh, I know where you guys are at. I
We're
know.
like right down
Yeah.
here. Somewhere.
That's a really nice place though. Like that's a beautiful spot.
Like we haven't been back there since 11 o'clock this morning, so. No, since 10. We had breakfast at 11. Yeah. But we've been out since 10. Oh, so you're fancy too.
I'm not even playing, dude. I did this shit like legit. So I can't even say shit because I did the same thing. Here. Just like.
Oh my god, that's really cute.
Thank you, appreciate it. But it's like that's like this stuff right here just looks really good for business shit. Like you're trying to take photos and stuff.
That's fun.
Thank you. Yeah. Like the idea is
I was showing him some photos for business.
to take a bazillion photos and then like 2 of them are gonna look fucking fire.
And then I think we were talking about some stuff about my partner. So I cut it out. And it was also some private stuff about me too. So I just cut it out really fast.
Oh shit, so I'm older than her. Can I talk down to her or like, talk?
Oh, so now I'm talking to the cute girl. So I asked her how old she was. She's about to turn the same age as me. So I started teasing her about being older and wiser than her.
Like
No, you
talk
can't.
about the world and shit? Yeah?
No, you can't.
It's okay. I understand the world a little bit. I just been here longer. It's not that I'm disrespecting you or nothing like that. I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna guide you through this world.
Than you have, Nicole. It's okay. No.
I've been through shit, but that's the thing about age, right? They overcome shit. Yeah.
I've been through it all.
Wait, sorry, I missed out. Somebody say something? When you start asking the logistical questions, as soon as possible, but you want to sprinkle them in too. So you don't want to make it obvious. So what I used to do when I first heard about this, getting logistics, I would do it immediately after, like, hey, how's it going? And like immediately as soon as I hooked, I would start getting the logistics. You want to kind of sprinkle it in there more or less, and you want to make it more conversational. So I'm actually curious. So I whenever I ask a question, I actually taught myself to feel legitimately curious. And so reason being is that a lot of times when guys ask questions, they're asking questions to fill the space, and it comes across that way. Like, girls are very intuitive, and if you're saying it to that end, the girls are going to become unattracted. So the way I push it is always I made myself become curious about the question. So now when I say it, I'm actually legitimately curious. So it makes it a lot easier for me to, like, be more engaging when I talk. And I also sound like I'm legitimately curious. The way that you can ask these kind of questions too, and like, so there's 3 ways you want to ask a question that will make it sound not so, actually 4, there's 4 ways. There's 4 ways you can ask the question to where when you ask it, it's engaging for the girl. It doesn't make it sound like you are asking 20 questions. So the first one is obviously be curious when you're talking to the girl, be interested. 2, you can ask in a commanding tone, wait, how old are you? And you ask it in a way that makes the girl wonder if she tells you the wrong answer, you're not going to like her. The next one is playful. Be like, wait, how old are you? And you say it in a way that's playful. So then you can actually build on the frame. So again, like if she was younger or older, if she was younger, I'll usually go into the fact that I'm so much older and wiser. And then I'll ask her if she's intimidated. And if she's older than me, I'll ask the same thing. I'll basically say, so what you're saying is that you're super into young and attractive men. You cradle robber? And I'll say something along those lines, and I'll joke with her that way. But the idea is that I'm kind of just, I'm teasing around the idea. There's, oh wait, what's the last one? Sorry, I almost forgot to say that. What's the last one? Commanding. Oh, commanding and screening. So I mixed up commanding and screening. Commanding is basically where you say, wait, how old are you? And you say it like that. You say it in a way that's more CEO. And then screening. So when I ask a girl like a question like how old she is, I'm usually screening. So I'll act in a way that makes it sound like if she gives me the wrong answer, I might not like her. So then the girl will kind of get in her head about it and start worrying if I'll like her or not. So that's the way I'll usually go about asking it. If you ask it in those 4 ways, though, usually it'll be okay.
I'm talking like people haven't ever like talked to a 40-year-old who's like super child. Yeah. Rich.
They know much more than you. Ooh, is that a breakfast place? Excellent.
I have the mentality of a 12-year-old.
You what?
I simply have the mentality of a 12-year-old.
I said that I have the mentality of a 12-year-old.
So my age. I'm working on it though. My therapist is. So somebody's got it.
So I said, I have the mentality of a 12-year-old. And I said, I'm working on it though. And I said, well, my therapist is. And that's when they started laughing.
Why'd you put your mask on? Probably a habit.
Habit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I put my mask on.
Speak it up.
Yeah.
Yes. He's visiting. He's here till end of August, and we're going around like just kind of like having fun because he doesn't want to strip too much. Yeah.
We're so overwhelmed. We don't really know what to do. Besides, get a big ass string and wonder. We're wanting music, and now we're on our second big ass string, and we're still wondering. We just want music to listen to while we drink.
I think the Marquee actually, there's this, well, all right, so Marquee nightclub, it might be open actually. If you started this conversation off saying I'm really shy, I probably would have disagreed with her here. But you did start off saying you're loud.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say loud. I would just say I'm like, you're very important. I do not like this normally.
Oh,
like at home, at work, I fucking hate it.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording here, and I'm gonna keep going with you guys separate from the YouTube stuff, just so you guys can start talking.
Now, the majority of the infield I will be posting to the group. It's a lot safer in a private group chat as opposed to on YouTube, where I could get taken out at any second. So if you guys want to join it, just message me at dentondating.com. And with that being said, peace out.
Yeah, I flow like a river, I'm a big wave. And they say the kid is sick enough to spit AIDS. Get paid, leave a brother limping if he bitch made. Reaching for my trigger while I stick you with a switchblade. Real players never get played. Always getting bitches, I've been pimping since the 5th grade. Listen to the kid, he's just so vicious how he spits rage. Wishing you could diss somebody, rips it like a slip page. Yeah, see I spit it on a nightly. Got the kind of